topics. I am Dr. Caleb Alexander, and with me today is Dr. Mario Salas. And missing today, folks, is businessman and entrepreneur Chris Dawkins, and of course, the lovely Dr. Sharon Michael Chadwell. And so we're again today without supervision. Mom's not here, so
yeah, we just love to get in trouble.
Yeah, so we got cut up today, and so this is gonna be our recap, our year review. And so there are so many topics so many topics to cover, right? So today we're gonna do our spin the wheel. So we're gonna do a spin the wheel and just and go with it, and wherever that wheel lands on is the topic we'll cover at that time. So it's so many things to get to in this crazy year. There it is. There's our magic wheel that gonna dictate our topics for today. So what do we have first? Let's see what we got coming up first.
Oh my goodness! Oh!
Let's see. Marvel, Project Marvel. There we go. So Mario, you wanna?
What always bothered me? Why they call it Marvel? I mean, it's just like a comic book thing.
That's what I thought when I heard Project Marvel.
I thought a Comic-Con, when they come, people line up outside to go visit the Star Trek characters and whatever, the Hulk and whatever.
I always wondered too.
There must have been somebody thinking of the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of a Marvel it's going to be, but
I guess it's Marvel at the price tag. So
yeah, that's a big Marvel.
It's a big price tag.
Yeah, well, if you ride by there in the area where it's going to go at, you'll notice that there's a lot of construction or demolition, I should say, because the ground's being dug up, big piles of dirt here and there, tractors all over the place. So they've have started the excavation of it. So it's moving right along.
Yeah. So let's start off. Let's tell our viewers a little bit about what Project Marvel is, just in case they're unfamiliar with it.
All right. Well, so here we go. The Spurs wanted a new arena, and not just the Spurs, but at least in my opinion, the downtown people wanted it too.
Yeah.
Because this spurs economic growth for the hotel owners, for the businesses that live in the downtown area, and because of that, of who it's spurring growth for, it would automatically also spur controversy, because who stands to gain the most from it would obviously be the downtown businesses.
Right.
The good news is the Spurs agreed to put so many millions, billions, whatever the case may be, into the construction of it. And the bad news is for tourists is they're going to have to sock the bill's going to them.
Some of that bill's going to them,
and I kind of hate the car rental thing too, because a lot of local folks rent cars just to drive to Houston or Dallas or something.
Yep.
Well, the price of that's going up because in order to fund this thing, they had to raise the hotel-motel tax as well as the car rental tax.
Right.
And then there's all the hidden fees we haven't been brought to, and I have a hunch at some point it'll wind up being front page of the newspaper when they start talking about service fees, service to connect water lines.
We'll learn the true cost of it.
What about they need a special grid for the electricity for that thing? Oh, we forgot to include that. So I'm thinking the more controversy is going to show up.
So with Project Marvel, it's a Spurs sports and entertainment district, right? The entire district, entertainment district, and it's going to have shopping and the new arena and hotels, and then it includes a renovation for the Alamo Dome and an expansion and renovation for the
Spurs, the Center.
The convention center, convention center expansion, and so it includes a lot, right? A huge district. So just on the west side it's to the east side of downtown, but just to the west of the east side, right?
Right.
So we'll people will be feeling that in property taxes and property values that live on the east side.
And then we talk about neighborhood concerns. There are always still neighborhood concerns about signs being put up, no parking during Spurs events on such and street and all that street.
Right.
So that always presents a problem. You might have visitors coming in from out of town and then wind up with a ticket on their car.
Yeah.
So that's, and then you've got scalpers, people who own an empty lot and turn their empty lot. And that amount of making money, but sometimes it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
$30, $40 to park. Simply because they can do that.
Yeah.
They do have to get a permit to do it, but some, we know how that goes. A lot of people were doing that when the Spurs were playing at the Alamo Dome. They were scalping tickets then, or I call it scalping parking lots, then by charging outrageous fees.
Right.
It seems to me that at some point, given the heavy load of traffic that will now occur in the downtown area when this takes place, it'll be twice the load. What role is traffic going to play? Because the biggest complaint about no economic development around the Frost Bank Center on Houston Street, which is where the Spurs are playing now.
Right.
No economic development took place, and our county commissioner, Tommy Calvert Jr., blamed that, and I think rightfully so, on the police putting up cones and forcing cars out of the
east side
area. You think they're going to do that to downtown businesses? They ain't forcing those cars out of nowhere.
No, they encourage them to stay and shop and buy and purchase.
Yeah, and head into McDonald's and go to Whataburger, whatever. Yeah. Whatever's there, they're not going to have cops out there directing traffic away from the business district. They did that, and I believe Mr. Calvert was right on that. They did that, in my mind, to stifle economic development on the east side.
Well, we had to get Tommy on the show. Because we have how much of that was the concern of the residents, and how much did the residents fight against the traffic, and so we'll get Tommy on the show. That's a great.
It is a great topic because it could make the argument. A few of the resident association could be blamed for it too.
But
they stopped it. Yeah, they stopped economic development, and understand their concerns. They didn't want people parking in front of their house and flooding the neighborhood with cars and people going to the game.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. But they shot their own self in the foot. It kind of reminded me when I was a city councilman. I went and fixed the flooding problem on the Salado Creek, and don't you know, I couldn't believe this. I won't call any names, but one of the people in the neighborhood association in Willowwood in that area got mad at me because I'm the one who said, let's fix the creek before they said it. So he got mad about, why don't you wait until we brought this before the council? For what? I don't have to wait on y'all. Might be another flood waiting on y'all. So,
right.
But do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like some neighborhood associations, they're run by dictators. And they're not, they're running a dictatorship.
Right.
And some people should have never been put in charge of neighborhood associations.
Yeah.
Because that little bit of power went to their head. So that's a whole, we'll have to talk to Tommy Calvert about that.
So what we have coming up next? So let's see, what do we have on the wheel?
Uh-oh. I think I'll stick my thumb on it and stop it on purpose.
Oh, Diddy Files. Whoa.
Who the hell is Diddy?
P. Diddy, Puff Daddy.
Wait a minute. I got to tell you a story. This old guy stopped me one day and said, have you ever heard of a rapper named Kim? And I said, you mean Kim? K-E-M. And then he says, well, why would he name himself after a woman? So me pronouncing Kim made no distinction pronunciation-wise between Kim and Kim. And I told him, I said, that happened to me too when I first heard his name. So I don't know why he called himself Kim. It must be so. I don't know. I didn't keep up with that.
Right.
But a lot of people were making that same argument. Okay, hey Kim, why are you calling yourself a woman's name? It's not Kim, it's Kim. Well, who can make that distinction? Well, where did he get that from? Where did Diddy come from? So from a rap thing, I think.
P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, Puffy Combs, whatever he called himself. So
okay, so
he's got a little bit of a
linguistic.
Right. Yeah. So he got into some hot water this year. Big story. The controversy started, or really took off with the video with him beating his music artist girlfriend Cassie.
Yeah, body slamming her down the hallway.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So it kind of took off from there. The charges ensued, the raids, and then of course the embarrassing reveals of the baby oil and all that kind of stuff, and these wild parties. And so he ended up getting convicted on a couple of the lesser charges, and had to do a little bit of time on that. But that was an enormous story this year, and so I think the black community kind of pick sides, and you know what I mean. And then we found ourselves on both sides of that.
Yeah, well, there always is both sides of any kind of criminal investigation.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a system that's unjust.
Right.
Where somebody, a person of color, gets highlighted
Right.
for whatever crime, but then somebody else doesn't get highlighted or doesn't get the same sentence
Right.
that a person of color gets.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's always the big but. And I don't mean no pun intended.
No pun intended.
But there's always this big however. The big however is, did he do it? That's the big however.
Right.
You know, so you can't just get away from it by, claiming I'm a person of color, so they shouldn't have done this. And I can cite the rules and I can cite the stats that the white rapper didn't get to say, yeah, but come on, man, did you do it? Yes or no?
And then what they ended up getting for was the trafficking of women across state lines or something like that. They hopped on a private jet and went with them somewhere, and so that was the trafficking of women across state lines. But we ain't gonna talk about Hefner and all the rest of those fellas that had women on their private jets and fly them
going to Epstein Island.
So we don't want to address that, but that's what he was convicted of, and so again, we fall. The community falls on both sides of that argument.
But here's one other aspect of that. Do we start trashing his CDs? I saw a guy throwing his CDs into a burning barrel.
Right. Yeah.
And I've seen that happen. Of course, they're talking about giving Nicki Minaj the Pancake Box Award for her selling out to that Charlie Kirk group.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's always a whole lot of stuff going on. Some of it is political.
Yeah.
Some of it is correct. Some of it's incorrect. Yeah. Some of it, a case by case basis.
Yeah. Huge story. So what else we got that came up that happened this year?
All right.
Let's see.
Hopefully Carl Booker doesn't stop it on purpose.
Tariffs. Ooh, tariffs. The get rich quick scheme. Yeah. Right? So we watched this administration say, we watched them take all their money out of the market and then put tariffs on a bunch of just about every country. Yeah. We watched the market tank. Then we watched them, after it reached the bottom, go in and buy up everything and then remove tariffs. We watched the market rise. And then when it got to a high point, we watched them sell again, pull their money out, put tariffs back on, we watched it fall. So we watched that cycle a few times, this get rich quick scheme, right?
Yeah. That's what it was. It was like a pyramid scheme.
That's what it was.
And then you saw Trump talk big talk, frown up when he's talking, looking like this all the time.
All around getting rich.
People are supposed to be afraid of that or something, I guess. But we saw him attack major countries to be the big tough guy, like attacking China. And the moment he did the tariff thing with China, everybody was shaking their head. Everything in Walmart's coming from China. So then he backed away from that. Yep. And then he tried to make it look like he was coming back from that. Then he backed away again. Yeah. He just kept on going.
Oh yeah, that was he.
And so finally, he lost it.
He increased his net worth about $2 billion in 10 months.
He lost
it.
But
yeah, and he ended up losing it because he found out. You can't threaten the people who can call your loans, right?
Well, nobody taught him a class on globalization.
Yeah,
where the economy is now global. It ain't like when he was growing up talking about tariffs, where you didn't have, I can look on the back of my shirt, says made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Your shoes made in China.
Yeah.
Your shirt made in Spain.
Yeah.
The world has a global economy.
Yeah.
So trying to change that structure to benefit only one country is just not going to completely work.
No, it's not. It's not. And you can't, when, I guess I want to say 90% of the rare earth material are processed, if not almost 100% of the world's rare earth materials are processed in China. So what brought us to our knees is China said, okay, fine, no more rare earth materials. And we're not going to buy your soybeans, and we're not going to buy, so, and he ended up...
beef?
Yeah, he ended up having to go hand in hand and remove tariffs from China and got nothing.
And instead, American farmers got socked.
American farmers got socked. American soybean farmers got socked. And we end up paying a higher cost for rare earth materials than we were paying before. So there is your art of the deal, folks. So that's
Wasn't that a book?
well, yeah, that's how tariffs worked out for us. So, and of course, the economy. They say when America catches a cold, black folks catch the flu, right? So, as horrible as he made the economy, which our next subject, right? Doge firing, and so perfect segue into Doge firing, right? So,
Department of something.
Department of the election cheaters, we'll call it.
Department of Sabotage.
So Doge, they step in there, they fire everybody, and the thing is, we all know the amount. We all kind of know who the employees in DC are, right? Mm-hmm. We know the race of, for the most part, of all those government employees in DC. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of like this idea that we're going to rid ourselves of the deep state, because that's what stopped us the last time from enacting our agenda. It was all the resistance from the deep state. And so they went in there and they fired all of the black folks that work in DC, right? Or as many of them as they could, and tried to replace them with Republican loyalists. And when I say Republican loyalists, read white folks.
Yeah.
Right. So
many who didn't know what they're doing.
No.
Had no experience in that particular field.
Exactly.
Hired a bunch of lawyers in the Department of Justice, never even tried federal cases.
Right.
Not to mention that
drunken
CHAG or whatever.
Yeah, Fox News.
Yeah, Fox News. But anyway, he doesn't know what he's doing at all. Jared Kushner, he sure as hell doesn't know what he's doing. And on and on. So they put these people in positions of power, fire the people that have the expertise, and so now you've got a government ran by a bunch of rookies who just keep making one mistake after another.
Yeah. So, and Doge, this has real consequences, right? So people cheering, Doge and the firing and all this kind of stuff, but Doge eliminated an entire department within the State Department. So USAID, and so USAID
gone.
Completely dismantled, completely gone. Provided anti-malarial treatment, they provided vaccines around the globe.
Education, health education.
AIDS treatment. They were still doing vaccines, COVID vaccines, and all that kind of stuff around them. They provided direct food aid, right? Healthy, clean drinking water. Mm-hmm. So in the time since Doge was dismantled, 600 million people around the world have died. Mm-hmm. So it has 600,000 people. It has direct consequences. That's 600,000 people is a lot of folks that died who did not have to die because of food aid, because of lack of access to AIDS medication, lack of access. So it was a lifeline. So this decision had real consequences. They're moving toward, and that number of 600,000 people was months ago, and so I imagine it's probably
lowball to begin with.
Yeah, it's probably climbed significantly by now, and so that has real consequences around the world. You'll have people who didn't have to die who end up dying, but
no food.
Yeah, Doge went in there and got access to all the computers and removed all the election software that they used. But Doge, it affected us this year, right? A big effect on black folks, a big effect on those jobs, the people who work for the government, enormous effect on waiting lines for Social Security, waiting lines to get back into the VA, to get treated. So people who claim to love the veterans, well, they increased the veteran wait times and all that kind of stuff. So
some veterans couldn't even get their benefits. Couldn't get their VA coverage for health issues. Couldn't get, oh my goodness. The Department of Education is another one they got swallowed up. And that kind of coincided with the whole idea of getting rid of DEI programs. It all fit together of trying to do away and accusing people of being woke in a woke conspiracy. Yeah, well, guess what? I believe in the woke conspiracy, and I'm still woke. But they came up with all kinds of propaganda terms to justify their hot firing of people. So it all meshed together. The justifications, false justifications for doing this.
Right.
That they were saving money, cutting waste, cutting fat, or whatever nice term they can come up with. When in fact they were just getting rid of people with a lot of expertise that knew how to deal with problems and how to prevent human loss.
Right. And the problem with this, right, when you mention the Department of Education, they attack higher education and they view people with education as being woke or liberal or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And so it's absolutely insane. And so the folks on the right, they view this as they view education as right versus left, right? They think the less education, the prouder they are. But instead of viewing this not as left versus right or Republican versus Democrat, they're viewing it the wrong way because China's investing heavily in their education. They're investing heavily in their technology. They're progressing on all fronts when it comes to technology. And so while we're dismantling and attacking our education system, they're charging forward. Yeah. So they need to view this not as right versus left, but maybe as the U.S. versus China.
Well, and having made all these cuts and firing all these people, then they turn around and try to distance themselves from some of the very people that supported them from the beginning, like the Proud Boys and all that. The Nazi guys.
They're all in ICE uniforms there.
Oh yeah, they're talking about him like a dog. They were with him from day one, and now they're kicking him out, they're trying to go like a more mainstream conservative.
Oh yeah.
So that ain't going to work. All that's going to do is cause a bunch of problems, like what had probably did happen with Charlie Kirk. He got killed by another right winger.
Yeah,
he didn't get killed by a liberal.
The guy said he wasn't right wing enough. Imagine that.
Yeah. So you're going to, in my opinion, because of some of this stuff, you're going to start to see a lot of divisions polarize within the conservative movement.
That's fine. I'm waiting for the Nazis to go to war with the Confederates.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
So let's see. That's how Doge affected us this year. So what do we have coming up?
Oh, I can't do that.
You can't do that.
I can't tell the difference between the San Antonio Mavericks and the Los Angeles Spurs.
Los Angeles Spurs. I got you. I will take this one. You know what? So, look, I am
They're winning. I know that.
Diehard Spurs fan. Wemby's back. Vassell and Castle and Dylan Harper. And so we got a squad, folks. We got a squad. And so we are back. We are on an 8-game winning streak right now. Today we'll make number 9. I think we got Jazz here, but yeah, today we'll make number 9. We beat the defending champs 3 times in
the Thunder.
We beat Thunder 3 times in about 2 weeks, about two and a half weeks. We beat them. It's we're back for real. We're real. Wemby's a beast, and here's the thing: Wemby's on minutes restriction, and we're still winning. We won by 20, and then we won by 15, and Wemby's on minutes restriction. So we are doing pretty good, and I can just imagine once Wemby is off minutes restriction, he's playing pretty much full game or 30 minutes or whatever. Man, we look pretty good. So I think people are saying that we are a year away. I don't think we're a year away anymore. I think we probably let them know that we're a contender this year.
Let me ask a question that probably Chris would answer if he was here. Or he would ask this question. Do you think, you know how you always start, let me raise this question. Do you think that Spurs management put extra pressure on the Spurs and the coaching staff and so forth to win these games because San Antonio is giving them a new arena? Do you think that communication ever went into someone's mind, what might have been, even if one person said it, management, you guys better play good, or the public's going to. And I can see that the public, they ain't won a game. Why are they getting a new stadium? But you can't make that argument now.
No, because talent is talent, though. You know what I mean? And so, I don't care how much the management demands it. If you play in the Thunder, you got to have some talent. You know what I mean? So yeah, talent is talent, and so the talent certainly is. It is certainly there. They are no, they're looking good, and we have a bunch of weapons. We have 8 guys that have scored over 20 points a game. Yeah, we have 8 guys that have kind of been the lead scorer, you know, in different games. So we have guys that can step up and take the lead and put points on the board. Depending on who we're playing, each different night.
So the offense has picked up quite a bit, and the defense has done decent the way I see it. Yeah. So what little I see, I've seen it. Yeah,
we're back. So I think we are. We may be looking at another dynasty. You know, we have a tradition, a winning tradition, and I think that winning tradition is back. And I think the new arena is probably what's going to keep that team together. Mm-hmm. That kind of support is definitely going to keep us together. So yeah, and so that is how we're looking. That's how my Spurs are looking, folks. So that's good news for this year. So what do we? Well,
we're running out of time, ain't we?
We're running out of time. All right.
Uh-oh. If it lands on the same one, I know this thing is rigged.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
AI. Look, I don't know about you all, but I can tell the difference from AI from regular photo.
From regular photo?
Yeah, I can. Right. My eye is very sensitive that way, but some people can't. And but there are ways to tell the difference. Mm-hmm. And I think AI is a good thing. I think it's you can do wonderful things with it.
Right.
It also can be misused, or abused. But you can do wonderful things with it. It looks to be the wave of the future.
Absolutely.
Technologically, and so I agree with that. Mm-hmm. And too bad Fred ain't here. He'd probably rip into me for saying that. but I do. I mean, technology changes. There's always going to be some problem with it because how many times have you been on your cell phone and the call dropped? No matter how sophisticated these cell phones get, you still get dropped calls.
Right.
You still get those automated cars driving down the highway. When by the way, San Francisco had that big power outage? When the power went out in Frisco or on the West Coast somewhere, those cars that drive by themselves, they were stopped in the middle of traffic.
Wow.
And blocking traffic because they're getting signals that are powered by electricity.
Wow.
And how can AI get around that?
Right.
And got no power, you can't get around that.
Right.
So there's some issues associated with it's nothing's foolproof.
Right, absolutely.
So, but it is the benefit, and a benefit to especially to entrepreneurs and small businesses who now don't have to hire a very expensive cameraman to go out and take photos of every single one when you can do an AI generated picture of a person. And of course that's caused some lawsuits. So the Martin Luther King's family is kind of mad about that, that you could create an AI picture of King and they can't get any royalties from it. Well, that's probably their fault. They didn't trademark that or copyright that, whatever they needed to do with his picture. They're too busy fighting amongst themselves. But unfortunately, and that happens all the time. But I believe AI can be a good thing. I think it's going to wind up being a good thing for health, operations.
Yeah, absolutely.
For having packages delivered to your door. All kinds of good things I think will come from it. Yeah. And of course, you've always got the glitches that can come from it too.
Yeah. So this year, I know we saw the release of GTP5. I think we're on GTP5 and a couple of other variants. We're on 5.3 now or something like that. But no, it's transformative. It is transformative in all kinds of fields, from communications to healthcare, to health delivery. And again, with the package delivery with Amazon and the drones, and so it's turned out to be a technological marvel. How we interact with each other, how we generate content. It's transforming the economy. The question for us is, how do we use it? How do we embrace it? A lot of our communities are still in broadband deserts, so we need to definitely expand that access. We need to expand access to not just internet, but laptops and you know, in our communities, we have more gaming systems than we have laptops in our households. But so we definitely need to rectify that. We need to embrace it in our inner city schools. We definitely need to have classes that will teach our kids how to embrace it, how to utilize it across a broad swath of industries and use it for entrepreneurship, innovation. And so, of course, on the flip side, as educators, everybody's grappling with how to use it and how to get around it, and how much of it do we embrace, and how do we ensure that AI is not doing the entire assignment.
How do we stop high school students from generating papers that they didn't write?
Right. So how do we? So it's for the good or bad. So we have, we have the artificial intelligence. It's here. It's not going anywhere, and it's continued to expand. And so we are definitely grappling with it. But as a community, we definitely have to embrace it, be a part of it. Of this new wave. And so AI is going to be a wealth generator. It's going to generate more wealth than the industrial age. We go through, of course, as we evolve as a species, as humans, we have the onset of different areas. And so one of the biggest wealth creators was the onset of the industrial age, and then we had the onset of the initial technology phases, and now we're embracing the AI age. And so that's kind of where we're at right now, is how do we embrace it as a people. But yeah, so that's kind of what we've seen so far this year, some of the bigger stories. And so Mario, anything you want to say to close us out?
Real quick, some of the things that people say that were veterans of the civil rights movement, they need to shut up. And for example, I saw this the other day. Andrew Young said that Martin Luther King was educated at Morehouse University, whereas Malcolm X was educated in prison. That was a really low blow. Maybe he didn't mean it that way, but that didn't sound right to me. And he wasn't just educated in prison, he was educated by the Muslims as well. And he was self-taught. So just to say he was educated in prison wasn't the right thing to say. But that's one of the problems with some of the older leadership of the civil rights movement. They went to sleep after the civil rights acts were passed. They went to sleep never to be awakened again. They thought the battle was over, when the battle against white supremacy was never over.
Got it. So that's what we're looking out for in 2026, right? To continue that battle, continue that struggle. As far as 2026, we definitely, are going to continue to push forward. Definitely have to continue to push forward economically, continue to push forward and ensure that we remain a democracy. Definitely going to have to reach out to each other, support one another, uplift one another, embrace one another. And here at Contemporary Black Voices, we definitely want to wish you a happy new year as we close out this year. And we want to wish peace and blessings, and may you gain everything that you richly deserve in this new year. Continue to support us. We thank you for this last year's support. Continue to support all of our endeavors. Black Life Texas. We want to thank you for supporting the show. And again, we want to thank our producers, Carl Booker and Linnell Taylor. And again, we wish you all the peace and all the blessings in this new year. So again, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again in the new year. That's what we have to say at Contemporary Black Voices.
Exactly.
Hot topics.
Exactly.